Hey y'all, here's a interesting little different take. So this is a very small single cell kind of cruiser. It's an analog, so just some cheap analog goggles will work with it. It's called the Happymodel Crux 3 NLR. It's very small, very lightweight. It has a built-in SPI ExpressLRS 2.4 gigahertz receiver. It took quite a bit of work for me to get that to work. I'll go into that later. Here's some of the specs. It comes with a buzzer, comes with all-in-one flight controller. It comes with some Gem Fan 75 millimeter bi-blade propellers, a Caddx Ant 1200 TVL, 2-gram ultralight nano FPV camera. It's only a 200 milliwatt 40 channel VTX 5.8 gigahertz. Really small. I did try a few different batteries with it, and there is a best battery to use for this. I'll talk about that later as well. Here's some evening flight footage that I took at a local park, and I was pretty happy with it. I mean, look, this is not a freestyle machine. This is just a cruiser, something that's super lightweight. You don't have to keep lipos that you worry about burning down anything, car, house. And I was really surprised at how long I could keep flying this on a single battery. So for this flight, I wasn't fully charged on the battery I was using. It was at, I think, 97%. So it was around 4.1 volts. I guess we could look at the beginning of the footage. Anyway, it wasn't fully charged. It wasn't at 4.2 volts. And there is a little bit of a voltage drop. And one thing I did forget to mention earlier, this does have a GPS. As you can see, we've got 7 GPS satellites. The return to home feature was set up, but I didn't test it. You can see that the home direction arrow is on there. Another thing you might notice is when I turn, if I don't turn with a little bit of throttle, it definitely starts to drop. Also, as you start to drop, this was right there was kind of scary, because as you start to drop, it takes quite a bit of throttle to keep from feeling like you're going to be a rock that's going to skip off the ground. So I would suggest, if you have one of these single cell drones, that you really be easy with it when you're taking it on its maiden flight. This is my maiden flight with this. So it had an old version of Betaflight on it. It had an old version of ELRS on it, ExpressLRS. So I was not able to bind my Boxer 3.0 or transmitter to the receiver. And it took quite a bit of research. I'll put all the links that I had to go through to find out how to update this all in one with the new version that ExpressLRS has, so that it would actually bind. You can't bind a 2.0 to a 3.0. One of the problems, and you'll hear people like Joshua Bardwell get pretty animated and rail on how ELRS is integrated into a flight controller with SPI. Because of this issue, you cannot just use Betaflight and auto detect the flight controller, say build me a copy and install it and flash it. You have to go find a hex file that someone has compiled Betaflight with ExpressLRS already as a module or piece of software as part of Betaflight itself, and then you have to load that as a local copy. So there's no cloud building, there's no automation of any kind. You have to find that, and that would be a neat project that I'd like to find out how to do one day. I haven't tried it yet, but it does seem like that would be helpful. At this point, I think I'm just going to stick with ExpressLRS 3.0 from here on out. So I ended up on Happymodel's website, and they pointed a support document to a YouTuber that I'll have the link below that talks about how he created the hex file. Well, not how he created it, but how to take his hex file, download it, and actually they provide it on their website. You can download it from them, and then once you have it, then you can use his video to see how to load it. Once it's loaded, you're running the new version or a newer version of Betaflight that has ELRS 3.0 compiled into it, which that gets it to a level where you can bind it to your 3.0 transceiver. After it's bound, you need to make sure you're below like what is it, 250 I think refresh, and once you're somewhat it's on the ELRS website. I'll just send you there, and once you're below that number, because it doesn't support, like ELRS supports like up to 1,000 refresh cycles. I'm not sure what the rate is, but it's in like 500, 750, 250, 1,000 for like super fast updates. And the SPI models don't support anything above 250. And that was another one of the problems I ran into. So once you get all of that figured out, you get the new version loaded, you get your ELRS refresh turned to below 250, it'll bind, and as they say in England, Bob's your uncle. So once everything is connected and running, then you just want to make sure you have the right batteries. And I'll also just post a link to where to get the right batteries. You need something that will support 20 amps of continuous draw. Doesn't have to be 20 amps, but as you see right now, it's drawing 10.4 amps, and you're going to have a continuous draw of about 10 amps. It can go a little higher, so you don't want to just max out at 10 amps, right? You want something that can handle the amount of current that you need. You especially see that when you're trying to either take off or gain altitude after you start going down. There's just not much torque in those propellers and those motors. It's definitely on the lighter scale, but man, like, it's so tiny. It just takes some batteries that you can stick in your pocket and almost just pull over at a park somewhere and get a flight in. There's not a lot to it. And as you see, like, I just keep flying around and around and around with no problems. Like, this thing just keeps going and going and going. And sometimes that's just what you want, right? You just want to kind of fly around and have fun and just cruise. And this is definitely a cruiser. It's convenient and it's a lot of fun. I'm very happy with it, and I do have some ideas. One idea is to make a 3D printed plug that goes into the 18650 battery case and then lets me put a 1S LiPo on top of it, so that, you know, the nice thing about LiPos is you get quite a bit of power and punch in not a lot of space and not a lot of weight. So, you know, maybe it could be a little bit more acrobatic if it had the throttle not so laggy and so mushy, so to speak. I mean, dude, this thing, you have to push the throttle to keep it from just becoming a rock when you start heading down. But it's still just very fun. As you can see here, I'm able to go up and get away. I've got, as you saw in the picture, those are the analog goggles that I'm wearing with the transmitter, or the receiver actually, sorry. And, you know, going 500 plus feet away, and just having a blast, man. It's throttle management is key for this. You've got to just be very smooth on the throttle, but it just keeps going and going and going. And we're down to what, 3.2 volts. I would fly it till about 3 volts. If I'm gonna try it again sometime maybe tomorrow, definitely this weekend. If not, if it doesn't rain, I wanna see how far I can go on a full battery. And man, such a fun little kit to just take out and run around. I think it'd be fun to take it to some different environments and see what kind of penetration we get, see what kind of distances I can get. It doesn't like the wind. I tried it at my house earlier, and it was just too windy. Put it right back down on the ground. Too much wind, and the thing weighs what? Like without the battery, I think it weighs like 68 grams. That's nothing. It is so lightweight, but cool little craft, and I enjoyed it. It's a lot of fun, and it was getting really kind of dark. It's a lot darker than it looks right there, and I've heard a lot of people break it on landing, so I would suggest landing it in the grass if you have some grass around. That's what I'm doing here, is I'm running over to the grass and just trying to come in and not land too hard, but it was fine. And as you can see, max current was 12 amps, used 1769 milliamp hours, and GPS is a little off, but didn't go above 400 feet. So there you go. Hopefully you enjoyed this, and it's helpful if you run into having a model similar to this for getting it updated. And don't forget the golden rule: do unto others as you would have them do unto you. See ya.